Oh, the stench hit me in the face as I walked into the ship's galley. I cleared my throat. Hello? Longfellow? Ah! A huge hairy creature jumped on me, biting me. Ouch! Ah! Get off! Down, boy! Down! There was laughter from the corner of the galley. That's my girl! Go get him, Betty! Tear out his guts! Shouted a large, round rat with one tooth wearing a dirty apron. The chair he was sitting on seemed to be part of him. With a hard shake and a push with my other hand, I threw the creature off me, and it skittered away into a dark corner, chewing on bits of my fur. It hissed at me. It was a bug, the kind I see all over the ship, but bigger and hairier. I looked around the kitchen. It was disgusting. Mold everywhere, bits of bone and slime on the table, and that familiar smell of death. But worse. Sewer rats call it damp death. There's places in the sewer where dead bodies pile up, and it never drains because of the dead bodies. So they just stay wet, and the smell of damp death. Yuck! I never thought I would smell that here. Oh, Betty will rip out your throat. I trained her myself. I'll show you. The fat rat seemed very eager, as if he's been waiting for somebody to show up. Oh, no, thank you, sir. Kill, Betty! The bug seemed to ignore the fat rat. It was too busy chewing on my fur. Kill! You must be Longfellow. Of course! You blind? I'm exceptionally long for a rat. You probably never seen a rat this long. That's why they call me Longfellow. That must have been a while ago because he was more of a round fellow. Right, the cook? Kill! Betty, kill! Betty didn't move. She seemed a lot like her master. Longfellow shook his head and slumped back into his chair. It's chef, and I'm the best there is. And you must be dumb, fellow, because I've never seen a dumber rat than you. That's why I'm calling you dumb fellow. Get it? Oh, very good, sir. Well, I brought a mouse for Captain Black for supper. Crud told me, bring the mousey. Stop wasting time, dumb fellow. I'm a busy rat. And you don't want to make mean fellow angry. Hurry. I brought the daddy mouse into the kitchen. Yeah, it's alive. Longfellow was out of his chair and pointing at the mouse as he backed away further into the dark corner. Kill! Betty, kill! Betty didn't move. Useless, muttered Longfellow. Why, you must be dumb, bringing a mouse here. I thought that's what the captain wanted. Not alive. It's probably full of diseases. You've contaminated my galley with the plague. Mouse carry the Black Death. Don't you know? Ugh. I'm going to have to wipe it all down again. Daddy Mouse and I looked at each other. He shrugged. I looked back at Longfellow and gave him my best apologetic smile. My apologies. I thought perhaps being the chef you are, you wanted to cook a la Mausatuli soufflé pie. A la what? You know, the French way of cooking mouse. You have to keep it alive as long as possible, slowly cooking it in its own sweet sweat. It keeps the rich flavors in. Oh, that just sounds delicious, said Daddy Mouse. Longfellow got closer. The wet, dead smell got stronger, and I got a bit dizzy. We rats have very sensitive noses. Well, some rats do. French, you say? That sounds fancy. You are fancy-pantsy chef, too? No, sir. Just humble pie makers. Back home, my brother and I made the best pies in all the sewers. Mouse pie was our specialty. Even the king. There is no king? Longfellow spat out some green goo onto his cutting board. Right, sir. I'm just saying. It was very good. and I'm happy to make it. Give you a break, a well-deserved break from all your hard work. Longfellow stared at me. It was getting hard to breathe around him. I promise the captain will love it, and the chef of the ship, you will receive all credit. Longfellow thought it over. Kill! Betty, kill! Betty didn't move. Longfellow shrugged. I'm not staying. I got better things to do than catch mouse plague. But if you mess up my galley, I'll have Betty rip out your throat. I understand, sir. Spick and span. I keep a orderly galley, of course. And if the captain doesn't like this a la pie stuff, I cooked it. Hey, you're not such a dumb fellow after all. Longfellow left the kitchen, but then he stuck his head back in. One more thing, dumb fellow. Make sure this fancy dish of yours has the tail. The captain loves his mouse tail. Phew! The air in the room was a bit more breathable after Longfellow left. Like when the rain flushes the sewers and you're just happy to be alive. Cole, have you cooked a lot of a la Mausatuli souffle pie? No, it's just a bunch of words from a cookbook. Chester and I called it mouche roche pie. Oh, is that the famous delicious pie? No, I live in a sewer. You can't make delicious pies in a sewer. Trust me. Chester and I would collect bugs, smash them all together into a mush, and bake it into a pie. When everything's mushed up, you really don't know what you're eating. I got the idea from a story I read about a barber and a pie maker. You really can't tell what's in a pie. Oh, so you're gonna mush up some bugs and the captain will think it's mouse pie, but it's really filled with bugs? No. Oh, actually, you got it, Daddy Mouse. But where are you gonna get a bug? Daddy Mouse and I turned to look at Betty. Betty backed away, hissing at us. But Cole, that bug doesn't have a mouse tail. And I picked up a cleaver from the table and turned to Daddy Mouse. No. Sounds delicious. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, we're already in chapter 4. I feel like I need to introduce Captain Blackfur. I feel like he should be Cole's nemesis, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I'm going. I'm still writing it. So until next Friday, and the next episode should be up here somewhere.